Welcome back to the Rise and Fall series here on DannyBTalks. It's been a while, and I'm excited to get back into the roots of my channel some more. These are some of the best performing videos on my channel, and I want to provide you with the best videos that you are looking for about the sport of NASCAR and its vast history. With that being said, today we're going to be focusing in on a team that was a fairly competitive team when I was younger, from the ownership of one of the best and winningest crew chiefs of the 1990s. Ray-Evernham made his name as the crew chief of Jeff Gordon, being with Gordon to win 3 of his 4 Cup Series championships. In fact, the two were even with each other in an ownership group of the NASCAR Busch Series for a team that started with Gordon's then wife, Brooke Gordon, partnering with Ray-Evernham to form Gillett-Evernham Motorsports that would later become JG Motorsports when Ray-Evernham sold off his half of the team to Rick Hendrick when it became apparent that Evernham was moving in the direction of Cup Series ownership for the 2001 season, of Dodge being a key part of the organization with total factory backing and sponsorship for a 2-car operation in 2001. The team opened up the 2001 season with 2 cars, both painted in bright red with Dodge branding all over the car, the number 9 of Bill Elliott, which marked Bill's return to his iconic number of Melling Racing, as well as the number 19 car with Kasey Atwood taking the wheel of that car. In the team's first season, it started off strong, with Bill Elliott scoring the pole award in the 2001 Daytona 500, and he would go on to finish 5th in the Great American Race. Kasey Atwood would also score a pole award at Phoenix late in the season, and Atwood would record 3 top 10s and 1 top 5 in 2001. Bill Elliott would have a much better season in the 19 though, of 9 top 10s and 5 top 5s, and he would score another pole award late in the year at Homestead Miami Speedway, where he would go on to also score the victory for Evernham Motorsports' first win. As the team worked to evolve in their first season, they were beginning to expand. In November of 2001, Ultra-Evernham Motorsports announced that they had entered into a joint venture with Evernham Motorsports, and their number 7 team would switch to Dodge from Ford. Jeremy Mayfield also announced that he would be heading to Evernham as the new driver of number 19 after being fired from Roger Penske's number 12 car the previous season. With this move, Kasey Atwood needed a ride and became the driver of the 7 for the 2002 season. The 7 team was thereafter known as Ultra-Evernham Motorsports, with Ultra team owner Jim Smith handling the day-to-day operations and Evernham handling the technical side of things. Evernham always referred to this as doing 2.5 teams. With that being said, Kasey Atwood continued to struggle even more in his second season driving with Evernham's joint venture, posting a best finish of 11th in 2002 and an average finish of 29.4. And the biggest form of blame given to this performance was a lack of competitive equipment. Essentially, the 7 team was using second-hand equipment from the 9 and 19 teams. One could compare this to modern-day Levine Family Racing and Gaunt Brothers Racing getting second-hand equipment from JGR. However, a lack of driving effort from Atwood was also blamed for his performance as well. With 2 races left in the season, Jim Smith took Atwood out of the 7 car with Jason Leffler as the interim driver. Kasey Atwood would make the last race of the 2002 season in a 3rd Evernham car, the 91, and Hank Parker Jr., son of 2-time Bassmaster Classic champion Hank Parker Sr., would make the race at Rockingham driving the 91 as well. Meanwhile, the 7 team went back to being independent, with Jimmy Spencer driving in 2003, while Kasey Atwood would only make 2 starts for Evernham's 91 car in 2003, and that would be how Kasey Atwood's time with Evernham concluded. Nothing special, but he was still an integral part of the opening story for Evernham's team. As for Elliott and Mayfield though, they had solid years, but especially Bill Elliott. Jeremy Mayfield would score 4 top 10s and 5 top 5s, including a 2nd place finish in the 3rd race of the season at Las Vegas. Bill Elliott, however, scored 4 pole awards in 2002, 13 top 10 finishes, 6 top 5s, and he picked up 2 victories in a row in 2002, with the first being won at Pocono Raceway, and in the following week on a moderately similar course at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, he won the 2002 Brickyard 400, and that is where one of the most famous images and videos of a young Chase Elliott is seen with his father. This was an integral and key part of the team's history, as it cemented the team as major contenders in only their 2nd season in NASCAR. In 2003, both cars were finding success, with Elliott and Mayfield both scoring 12 top 10s that season, with Elliott scoring 9 top 5s and Mayfield scoring 4 top 5s. Bill Elliott would also pick up what would go on to be his final win in the NASCAR Cup Series at Rockingham in the fall of 2003. After finishing 9th in the 2003 standings, however, and after an incredibly long and rewarding NASCAR career, which saw him become a champion, become a car owner in his own right for a while, among many other accolades, Elliott made a decision that due to the pressures that would come with a full Nextel Cup schedule, he would step down from his full-time ride of the program, and Elliott would race part-time in Evernham's research and development car, the 91. Evernham at the time was able to sign Kasey, a young developmental driver for Ford who was just starting to make a name for himself in the NASCAR Busch Series. And in a pool of talented rookies in the 2004 season, which included Busch Series winners like Brian Vickers, Scott Riggs, Scott Wimmer, and Johnny Sauter, as well as Truck Series winner Brendan Gaughan, Kasey came into that 2004 season with honestly the most to prove because at the time, he really wasn't proven to be ready. Despite that, Kasey outperformed them all in 2004 in Evernham's 9 car, earning 3 second-place finishes in his first 11 races of 2004, and in total, he'd have 5 total second-place finishes, including 2 close finishes to Matt Kenseth as well as Elliott Sadler. Kasey backed this up with 4 pole awards and 14 total top 10 finishes, earning a respectable 13th place finish in the Nextel Cup standings, and of course, he won the 2004 Rookie of the Year award with a season like that. In addition to Kahne, Jeremy Mayfield was coming into his own as the now veteran driver of the team, scoring 13 top 10 finishes and 5 top 5s, with his first victory of the team coming at Richmond in 2004. Kasey would back up his rookie season in 2005 by winning his first Nextel Cup Series race in the spring, but while he and Mayfield's stats would seem similar on paper in 2005, with both drivers scoring a victory, as well as 4 top 5s for Mayfield and 5 for Kahne, plus 9 top 10s for Mayfield and 8 for Kasey Kahne fell off the most in the 2005 season at the wrong time. Kahne's average finish in 2005 was 21.9, and Mayfield's average finish was 15.9. And this was a big contributor to Kahne missing the chase for the Nextel Cup, while Mayfield made a chase and finished the 2005 season 9th in the standings, while Kahne finished 23rd. Mayfield overall was just more consistent than Kasey that season. Now, 2006. If you're at all familiar with this team, then you know where this is going. The team entered the 2006 season with Kasey in the 9 and Jeremy Mayfield in the 19. This is not how the team would end the 2006 season though. At that time, Evernham was also working to try to develop younger talents that could potentially do well in the Cup Series down the line. One of those drivers was a promising young lady from the world of open-wheel dirt track racing, Erin Crocker. Erin Crocker had a relatively good career in the ranks of ARCA, but driving for Evernham in the Craftsman Truck Series and Busch Series, her results were, well, quite honestly abysmal. Her average finish in trucks was 26.2, and her average finish in the Busch Series was 31.1, which wasn't anything to make her a star. But at the time she was racing, a lot of spotlight was on her simply because she was winning races in the world of dirt racing, and the hype was on her to become a female star in a male-dominated sport, much like what would become with Danica Patrick and now Hailie Deegan. With that said, it was what happened off the track of Erin Crocker that played the biggest impact in her time with the team. Erin started racing with Evernham in 2005, and it was during the same year that Mary Evernham, Ray's then wife of 19 years, accused Ray of having an affair with his developmental driver Erin Crocker. This is drama that you wished wouldn't impact the team, but sadly it did. Mary and Ray Evernham would get divorced in 2005, and by 2006, Ray and Erin Crocker made their relationship public and official. Meanwhile, back on the Cup Series side of things, Kasey was having his best season of his entire career, with 6 pole awards, 19 top 10s, 12 top 5s, and 6 victories in a season that would see him finish 8th in the Nextel Cup Series standings. As for the 19 team, however, Jeremy Mayfield struggled, and subsequently the 19 car had eventually fell out of the top 35 in owners points after Mayfield crashed in the 2006 Brickyard 400, which then meant that the 19 team was no longer guaranteed for every race and have to qualify in on time. For one car to be doing so well of Kahne and so bad of Mayfield, many began to wonder where priorities lie, including Mayfield himself. At the 2006 race at Watkins Glen, Mayfield was benched, replaced by Bill Elliott for that race, and in the end, Evernham and Mayfield would part ways midway through the 2006 season, with Elliott Sadler, who had left Robert Yates Racing's 38 car midway through 2006, came in to continue the 2006 season driving the 19 car. In this time, Sadler would manage to salvage the 19 car 2 top 10 finishes and an average finish of 25.2, which would end the 19 team just barely inside the top 35 in owners points, which meant that going into 2007, they were safe. But back to the Mayfield departure. According to court documents, Jeremy Mayfield blamed his lack of performance in 2006 and subsequent termination from the team on Evernham's heavy involvement with developmental driver Erin Crocker and a close personal relationship that developed between the two. Now, of course, Evernham would never admit to that, but many could make an argument that at the time, it seemed like Evernham was too attached to growing Erin Crocker's career over the career of his current Nextel Cup Series drivers. I mean, many fans, even to this day, were on Mayfield's side. You had one car doing exceptionally well, and then you had one car that always seemed to be below the standard. Some drew comparisons to the old Ultra number 7 in terms of getting inferior equipment. While nobody can ever truly know what went wrong with the 19 team's performance in 2006, what we do know is that the relationship of Evernham and Mayfield was tarnished, and in 2007, Evernham did admit that his biggest regret for Erin Crocker was that their relationship perhaps did hurt the career of Erin Crocker. Erin Crocker's racing career would come to a close at the end of 2007, but she and Ray Evernham's relationship would evolve, and the two would eventually marry in 2009. While drama existed in the halls of Evernham's 2 flagship cars in 2006, a third chapter was also introduced in the 2006 season with the number 10 Valvoline Dodge of Scott Riggs. The number 10 car was acquired from the crumbling hands of MB2 Motorsports, and for more information on that program, I recommend checking out Brock Beard's collaboration of Slap Shoes, The Beginning of the End. The team was rebranded as Valvoline-Evernham Motorsports, with Riggs bringing the number 10 and sponsor Valvoline to the Dodge performance of Ray Evernham's organization. The team nearly won on several occasions, including Charlotte, Talladega, and Texas, where he crashed out in second place with 2 laps to go, and Riggs finished 18th in the final standings despite missing the season-opening Daytona 500. Riggs was brought back with high hopes for 2007, but after failing to qualify for 6 races and posting 5 DNFs in 2007, Riggs was released with 2 races left in the season in favor of Patrick Carpentier driving the 10 instead, who would return for the 2008 season. Kasey, Kahne, and Elliott Sadler also carried on in the Dodge branded 9 and 19 cars in the 2007 season and would return for 2008. But when 2008 came along, a key change came to the organization, and that was another name change. In August of 2007, then Montreal Canadiens and Liverpool FC owner George N. Gillett Jr. purchased a majority stake in the race team, and the team was renamed Gillett-Evernham Motorsports, with Ray Evernham retaining substantial ownership in the role of CEO. Evernham stated that the partnership would allow him to focus on racing operations and team performance, with the Gillett family handling the business end of the operation. The new regime of Gillett proceeded to bring in several financial executives to assist with corporate marketing, including former chairman of Lending Tree, Tom Redden, to replace Evernham as the CEO. And a lot of these moves were good financially for the team, as it saw companies such as Budweiser hopping on to Kasey Kahne's red number 9 Dodge, and Best Buy hopping on to the 19 car of Elliott Sadler. Part of that deal with Sadler's number 19 car also included a deal to have the Best Buy car on the cover of EA Sports NASCAR 09 instead of Jeff Gordon for all copies of the game sold at Best Buy locations. At the beginning of the 2008 season, Gillett-Evernham also signed a technical and marketing agreement with Robby Gordon, with plans to eventually absorb Robby Gordon Motorsports into the GEM stable. Under the terms of the alleged merger, Gordon would later sell his one-car operation to GEM for $23.5 million, then receive a 4-year contract worth $12 million to drive for the team. However, the deal would eventually fall through, which resulted in GEM suing Robby Gordon for violating the terms of the agreement. As things would have it, when the Gillettes took over, lawsuits would become a common occurrence. In 2007, when this merger was happening, Elliott Sadler had signed a 2-year contract extension to drive the number 19 car through 2009. Well, in 2008, while Kasey Kahne found success by sweeping Charlotte in the spring by winning the Sprint All-Star race as well as the Coke 600, plus Pocono just 2 weeks later, Elliott Sadler struggled in the 19 car, with 8 top 10s and 2 top 5s, finishing 24th in the standings. Gillett was not happy with the results of Sadler, and after having already released Patrick Carpentier for AJ Allmendinger to drive the 10 car at the end of 2008, in December of 2008 it was originally announced that Gillett-Evernham was going to release Elliott Sadler and have Allmendinger drive the 19 car in 2009. This led to Sadler's law team announcing Sadler's intent for a breach of contract lawsuit on Gillett-Evernham for his release. Not looking to fight yet another lawsuit, GEM and Sadler's attorneys managed to reach a settlement just 6 days later that saw Sadler return to the 19 car for 2009, but Allmendinger would be returning to the team in another car for 2009. How would this be achieved? Well, when it was reported that many of GEM's sponsors were looking to leave the organization, it was also said that Ray-Evernham had cleared out all of his personal belongings from the organization. In addition, we saw yet another merger when GEM merged in with Petty Enterprises in 2009 to become Richard Petty Motorsports. And in addition to all of the Elliott, Sadler, A.J. Allmendinger drama, another driver was hired into the organization with Reed Sorensen driving the Petty 43 car, Allmendinger driving the Petty 44, Sadler in the 19 once again, and Kasey Kahne back in the Budweiser number 9. 2 cars kept the Evernham look and 2 cars kept the Petty look. Eventually, things would continue to evolve even more, with the team going down to only 2 cars, with Kahne leaving the 9 car eventually for Marcus Ambrose to make his name in the 9, and the 43 car would be piloted by Allmendinger in 2010, only to be replaced by Eric Almirola, and from then, that really is how the team ended from its beginnings, and it never resembled its old self in the way that Ray-Evernham first started the team as. As for Ray-Evernham, he too would eventually find himself in a lawsuit directed towards George Gillett when he was seeking $19 million from Gillett after the way things went down from within the organization. This case was settled outside of court, and really, that just about paints the picture for the final chapter of Evernham's team. I think in theory, Ray-Evernham had a great business model and plan going into things as a Cup Series owner, and his knowledge of the cars themselves made them have race-winning equipment. But as time went on, in the business world of NASCAR, there was just too many hands and too many cookie jars for Evernham and the organization, and it just wasn't meant to be. But that's all from me. Let me know what you think of the rise and fall of Evernham Motorsports. Were you happy with the way their time went in the sport? What do you think went wrong during their run? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Have a suggestion for my next installment in the NASCAR Rise and Fall series? Let me know down below as well. If you're new here and enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video. It really does help my channel out a lot. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please be sure to subscribe to DannyBTalks and click the bell icon so that you never miss another new video from my channel. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a channel member or by supporting me on Patreon. Until next time, thanks for watching today's video, and I really do hope you have a great day. Bye guys. Hey race fans, thanks for watching this video from DannyBTalks. If you're new to my channel, please be sure to hit subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss another video from my channel.